Friends, we got to say to you that we all work too hard in trying to get what you want. It should be easier than it has seemed to you. And it is our desire that today, above all other things, you discover within yourself the feeling of ease about creating. It is as easy to create a castle as a button. There is nothing off limit for you. What you are living right now is a manifestation, which is an indication of your current state of vibration. So let's say you are, by earth standards, wealthy beyond reason. That means your vibrational stance equals that, and the manifestation indicates it. Let's say that in your current state you have cancer. It's just an indication of vibration. It simply means it's not scary. It's not deadly. It only means this cancer is a manifestational indication of your current vibrational stance. Because what you think and how you feel and what you get always match. So we want to diffuse your sense of urgency about anything and just help you to understand that where you are is this wonderful indication. We teach, in fact, we crow, in fact, we go on and on and on. We rampage. We never let up on you. We talk to you about how you can deliberately think and therefore deliberately feel and therefore deliberately create, which is pre-manifestational awareness. And all that's great. In other words, it's nice to stand in a good feeling place and think thoughts that feel good and allow all the things that you want to flow easily to you. That really is what we wish for all of you. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that what you're living right now in terms of your bank account, in terms of your body, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your relationship with every other person and thing on this planet, where you are right now is a magnificent indication of your vibration. And sure, it's post-manifestational awareness. Sure, it's talking about how you've been vibrating and how you are vibrating. But it doesn't matter. Because what is morphing constantly, because what is changing constantly in response to your vibrational output. You see, you don't know that because 99% of all creation is complete before there's any physical evidence. So there's this buffer of time between the time you shift the vibration and the manifestation shows up. So you could shift a vibration and not get the immediate manifestational feedback, and you don't think that you're doing anything even though you are. That's what we mean by quantifying your journey. If you understand that improved feeling means improved vibration, and improved vibration eventually will mean improved manifestation, then you know you're on the way when you feel good. You could have cancer. They could tell you you're dying. You could sit there in the doctor's office and you could look at him and smile in your knowing that he does not know what he's talking about because he does not know about your vibration or your vibrational intent. He does not know that your vibration is an indication of where you are and that you left your fear behind last time you talked to him. And in the meantime, you've come to the vibration of hope. And when you find the vibration of hope, even though you've got cancer in your body and even though they tell you you're dying, you can smile smugly back at them and say to them, you don't know because you don't know the vibrational content of my being. You don't know what I've put in vibrational escrow. You don't know who I was coming in. And most important, you don't know what I've been doing this week by turning downstream and turning downstream and turning downstream. And even though there is right now no physical evidence of the improvement in my body, there is vibrational evidence because you're not scaring me anymore. There's vibrational evidence because I'm happy and hopeful, no longer fearful and depressed. And we want you to know that if you can maintain that, which means you got to tune them out because they don't know. They train you to listen to them in their well-meaning attention to what's wrong with whatever they're looking at. They mean well, but they don't help. If someone makes you feel bad, they're not helping. And don't lay it off on them. Don't go around looking for people to be your guidance. Nobody is. You've got your own guidance and it is supreme. And when you discover it and when you feel for it and when you care about how you feel more than you care about what is. We said to a woman who was in pain in her body, arthritis through her body, she said, how can I feel good? How can I think thoughts that feel good when I hurt so much? And we said, well, you can hurt and hope or you can hurt and fear. Because there's hurting, and you're going to hurt for a while. Hurting is the current manifestational indication of what you've been doing. Your discomfort in your body is your current manifestational indicator of what you've been doing with your thoughts and the emotions that you've been finding. In other words, when you have a disease and you recognize how that disease makes you emotionally feel, you've got to understand that you've been emotionally feeling that way a long time before the disease came as a further indicator of that, you see. So, when you get in your car and you see the gas tank is empty, by the way, your gas tank is empty. They've sort of forgotten to look for those kinds of indications. When you go to, we're not kidding, it is empty. When you go to your car and you look at your gas gauge and the indicator says that your tank is empty, you never just lay your head on the steering wheel and cry. I had hoped for better news. Oh, where did I go wrong? You just do something about it. And we want you to know that whatever you're living in manifestation is just an indicator, and it's all completely changeable, but you've got to change the vibration first. And then the manifestation will morph or adjust. And if you could see the aerial view as we see it, you would be so delighted, because you would see that in the moment that you release the thought that doesn't feel good, you turn in the stream and you begin moving toward what you want. And it is such a delicious journey. In other words, this is where we began today. We're talking about how are you happy about those things you want even before you see the evidence of them. And most of you lie and say yes. But most of you are not really all that happy about those things that you want that are not coming or that have not yet come. And we want you to begin making all of your journeys an emotional journey. We want you to be joyful about the improved emotion within you even before the manifestation shows up. And when you're able to do that, the manifestation must show up. But if you are like so many people, if you need the manifestation first, give me the stuff and then I'll feel glad it's there. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be happy when I get over there, but before I get over there, I'm going to be miserable. We say, then you'll never get over there. Well, that's not fair. There are other people who are over there. Well, we know there are other people that were over there, but nobody gets over there without feeling like what's over there. It's not fair. They were born into a family that was over there, and so they felt like being over there. And it's not fair. I was born in a family that was way over here. My family sucks. I'm over here. It's not fair that I'm over here. And we say, you got to get over that or you can't get over there. Well, why should I? Why should I go to all of the trouble of feeling good before I have a reason to feel good? And we say, that pretty much explains it, doesn't it? So, now do you understand a little more clearly what those two vibrational reference points are? There's the non-physical you that was you before you were you, but became even more emphatically what it is because of what you've been doing when you've been banging around here. In other words, this is the expanded version of you. And when you keep up with you, or when you move in the direction of that which you are, you feel so good. We like to refer to that as a sort of vibrational gap. So, who you really are loves. So when you find someone that you don't think is love-worthy, rotten person that they are, did something bad to you or somebody, and you look at them, and in all of your logic, you condemn them as well as their behavior, that hatred that you feel is because you have chosen a thought which has a vibrational frequency that's very far from the love that you really are. Now, your logic says, why would I love something so utterly unlovable? Why would I love something that's easier to hate? And we say, well, we know hating is easy. It's also lazy. When you just look at something and you have a knee-jerk response to it, then it controls your vibrational patterning. And when it controls your vibrational patterning, you're not in control. And more important, you're not being who you are. You are one who loves, and when you don't love, you feel the vibrational gap. You are one who knows your worthiness, and when you feel unworthy, you create a vibrational distance between who you are letting yourself be and who you are. We call that resistance. Letting yourself be who you are is the allowing of who you are. So there is resisting who you are. There is allowing who you are. There is widening the gap. There is closing the gap. There is blending. There is not allowing the blending. In other words, a blended being is one who consciously reaches for thoughts that allow you to be blended with who you are. So you don't have the power to do the blending. Law of attraction's doing the blending. You only have the power of choosing the frequency that allows the blending or doesn't allow the blending. And this wonderful emotional guidance system that you have tells you that. And it is so wonderful because it tells you what you're doing vibrationally, but it is also your indication of how you're doing in relationship to the things that you want. In other words, it's the way you quantify your journey. It's the way you can tell every time whether you're moving in the direction of what you want or whether you're moving in opposition to what you want. As Jerry and Esther travel from Phoenix to San Diego, it's not hard for them to make the journey because they understand it. They know that it's west. They know about how many miles it is. And so they never set off in fear or trepidation that they might get lost out there in the desert or that they might not achieve their destination. They never get out there halfway and feel so uncomfortable that they're not yet there yet, that in their disorientation, they turn around and go back to Phoenix. They don't lose their way because they understand the journey. But we see so many of you losing your way between sickness and wellness because you haven't figured out how to quantify the journey. We see you losing your way between not having a relationship that you want and having it, or not having the money you want and having it, because even though you often start off in the direction of what you want, since 99% and more of every journey is completed vibrationally before you see the physical evidence of it, when you take score and you don't have evidence, you automatically assume in most cases that you must not be doing the right thing. And then you do get disoriented and you often do turn around and go back to Phoenix. And so your emotions are the way you quantify your journey. And the best way that we've ever found of describing it to you is by saying to you that as you are exploring contrast here in your physical body, and you're giving birth to these rockets of desires, and the source energy part of you is literally becoming that vibrational being that you have offered, and law of attraction is then responding to that vibrational stance of who you have become. The feeling experience to you is you can feel the calling of that. It's like that whole process creates a current, a stream, like a river that is moving very fast. And everything that you want is downstream, you see. So we see so many of our friends. You take your boat down to the river, you've got your oars in your hands, you get in the water and you turn your boat upstream and you begin paddling very hard. And we say, why not turn and go with the current? And you say, oh, that seems very lazy to me. And we say, but the current is moving and there's such power in it. Why not benefit from the power of the stream? And you say, well, I see others who I respect pointed upstream. It must be the right thing to do. And we say, why are you listening to them rather than to your own instinct and your own logic that downstream is more effective? And you say, I never really thought about it. It has not occurred to me lately to do what feels natural. I've been listening to others and look how many of them are pointed upstream. It must be the right way to go. And anyway, the trophies and monuments that I've noticed are given to those who really work hard against this current. And so I'm going to persevere. I'm going to be virtuous and valiant. I'm going to do the hard thing because, Abraham, no gain comes without pain. And we listen to your irrational logic. And then we always announce to you, you have free will. And we certainly honor anything that you want to do. However, nothing that you want is upstream.